BXB. It's in the game!
Hey guys, it's me Ben, back with another one of my quick video reviews, and this time I'm looking at Project Warlock on PC, currently exclusive to GOG.com, and this is cool. This is a retro-inspired first-person shooter brought to us by a very small development studio. By that I mean basically one guy called Buckshot Software. This guy Jakob, from somewhere in Europe, though I didn't look too closely as to where, is like super young. He's like 18, 19, 20 years old, and here he is making a first-person shooter reminiscent to the classics I loved from my youth many, many years ago, such as Doom and Wolfenstein 3D. And it's frightening to me because Jakob wasn't even alive, really, and certainly not playing these games when they came out, then those games came out. So that's crazy to me that he's able to make a game that is so strongly inspired by such classics, with some definite modern elements to it. There's a leveling mechanic to this first-person shooter. There are stats, and there are ways of upgrading your weapons and your spells. Yes, RPG mechanics have made their way into this classically inspired first-person shooter, as well as, guess what, everyone's favourite buzz term, roguelike elements. Basically, they are quite light. The way that this game presents its levels is that you run through a series of levels, and if you die within one of those levels, you go back to the beginning. So there's no checkpointing, and that's the only roguelike element, really. It's not that punishing, and it's much like how things were done in the Doom days. And as you can see, this game looks gorgeous. It doesn't just look like Doom or whatever, or Wolfenstein. It's got a beautiful lighting system. It's got a fantastic particle effect system as well. So it definitely feels modern while it plays quite classically. There's a whole raft of guns here that you can collect and upgrade, and there are many, many, many scads of enemies, hundreds of different types of enemies probably, for you to blow apart into very, very satisfying chunks. So really, this game, while so classically inspired and so sort of homaging to those amazing games of yore, which I have a strong soft spot for, it plays quite modern. You know, it plays like a typical first-person shooter. Controls on the W, X, and D keys, of course, and mouse. There is no gamepad support at the moment, which, you know what, I suspect he won't do because it doesn't really connect that well to that classic feel, but you never know, maybe they'll add it in. I was a bit disappointed to see I couldn't play with a controller. Yeah, I know that's sacrilege to the PC players, but as you may know, I predominantly review games on console, but I had to give Project Warlock a go because it just looked so much like those games I loved, as I've mentioned already. But how does Project Warlock stand up by today's standards? I think it stands up pretty well. I really like the art style. I really like the speed of the mobility. I really like the classic feel, the fact that it wasn't hand-holding you in any way. I played this game on sort of mostly on easy mode, and there's hard mode and even harder mode. So there's plenty of challenge and replayability on offer here throughout the many, many, many missions and levels that you can go through with all the different weapons and the upgrade trees. There's lots of things to do within Project Warlock. Certainly many more ways to approach this first-person shooter than we would have had with a Doom or a Wolfenstein 3D. So that's kind of the modern sensibility shining through here. But to me, this plays and looks like, for the most part, a great classic shooter. I had a really good time playing Project Warlock. Easy for me to say. I really enjoyed the music, which I did showcase a little at the start of the review, and I certainly enjoyed the gunplay. It's a kind of switch off and enjoy game for the most part. Yes, there are RPG mechanics, but it's not exactly deeply narrative. You're a dude with some magical abilities, and you're going in to really give a bad day to all these enemies that you see. It doesn't even have as cohesive a story as, say, Doom did or Wolfenstein does. From what I can tell, it's just a collection of levels for you to blast through, and you really enjoy doing it. So because of that, but also because it doesn't really do that much new, I'm going to give Project Warlock a very fair 3 out of 5 stars.
BXB. It's in the game!